One of the things that I've always pointed out about the satellite photos of so-called prison camps in North Korea is their very vague-looking nature, that they look a lot like collective farms, meaning they don't actually look like prisons. Oftentimes they don't even have any fences, and then sometimes areas do have a fence and they say it looks like it, and it's just really vague, and there's not anything there to really confirm what's being said. However, a new report by Amnesty International seems to want to make that even blurrier. The claim they're making now is that prison camps are increasing fences around actual farming communities, like actual villages and farming communities and communes, for the purpose of repressing people. It's part of their, what do they call it, campaign of repression against the people in the country, which would be absolutely unnecessary right now given the amount of nationalist fervor that's come up because of the threats of the United States. But that's what's being done now. It's now being claimed that prison camps are now encircling and absorbing into it entire villages, which makes no sense. It wouldn't make sense to entrap an entire village. It's just seemingly meaningless. In other words, what Amnesty International is now saying is that there's a merging between prison camps and villages. So now, if you see something that looks like a village or a farming commune, it's probably a prison now. This is one of the actual statements that's being made by them. The images show that between 2006 and 2013, North Korea has constructed 20 kilometers, 12 miles of posts around the Cheolmabong Valley. So this appears to be the new tactic to counter the pointing out of the obvious that people like me and others do, that the so-called prison camps look like industrial parks, or just communes or farming collectives. Now they're going to make them making the claim that they're just merging prisons and the regular population together into some kind of super fascist state. I guess that's kind of the claim that they're trying to make now. Although it's very interesting that they have always previously said that these prison camps are tucked away, hidden from the rest of the world, and even the people of North Korea don't see them. Yet at the same time, they're now apparently a part of entire communities, which seems very contradictory to me. To me, this seems like a very desperate move to try to portray the prisons as now being absorbed into, or absorbing into them, villages. So the answer to why these things don't look like prisons, or aren't actually tucked away where nobody can see them because they're right next to villages, is the fact they're now one and the same thing. And I think that shows just a little bit of desperation, and or possibly just a little bit more of the acceleration of the propaganda used by the DPRK to justify the now ongoing hostilities by the US against the country for its own imperialist purposes. But then again, this is coming from Amnesty International, and that should be taken with a monumental grain of salt.